Hello, it's me, Zoti, and welcome back to another episode of The Light Collective. Come on in here, get comfortable. Let's get started. The Light Collective, the Light Collective, the Light. And welcome back. Well, there you have it. We are post election. Huh. We are post decision. Huh. So, how have we been? How have we been? I hope well. I hope well. You know, a lot of us were aware that we were in a shift already, but my, has the shift, the great shift, moved into a new phase. You know, in my last video, it's been a while since I put a video out here on my channel because I've been busy in the markets. Now, in the last video that I made regarding the election and my position on it, I made mention of the market and how your attention as a citizen in this country, your attention should be, should have been elsewhere when we're talking about the election. But I don't want to harp on that because what good does that do anyone, right? To sit here and say, hey, you were looking in the wrong place the whole time. Doesn't help anybody at all. So, what we're going to discuss today is what do we do from here? Okay, that's what we're going to discuss today. So, a lot of folks are quick to say, hey, I told you so, or tell you, hey, I knew this already, or hey, you should have did this or you should have did that. I encourage you, beautiful people, that if you come across people like that, if you're listening to people like that who want to make you feel bad about the programming that was done, okay, on you and everybody, okay, no, don't let anyone tell you who is awakened already that they was never asleep. Don't let them treat you like they were never asleep. Don't let any of that occur because that's not what this is about. I want to make that very clear. So anytime I say something to you, beautiful people, it's because I want you to be better, and and I want us to be able to contribute, to each other's existences in positive ways without having the extra stuff, to get in the way, right? So I made mention of the last video that I made. I said, hey, the attention should have been elsewhere, and I emphasized how when and if things start to become ridiculous, then it's time to look elsewhere. Now, when I say that, nothing should be said to make anyone feel bad, you know, I want to be clear. I do speak with a firmness sometimes. I speak in many different ways because I channel different energies. So sometimes I can get a little, stern, but I want to be clear that even if I am in that energy, everything that I'm saying is from a place of love. Everything that I'm saying. Okay. But you and I both know there's some people you just gotta, even you, maybe sometimes, even me, sometimes you gotta be talked to a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? Sometimes, it ain't gonna take, hey, hey, come on, you should look over here. You should look over there. Hey, excuse me. Sometimes I'm like, listen, so it just depends. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But anyway, here we are, right? Wow, the market has I have multiple screens in my space, and I there's the Asian session, right, that happens overnight, right? Most people know that there's the New York Stock Exchange, right? But then there's other sessions, right? Because the stock market is available around the world. So it has other time period throughout the day. So with the type of trading I do, one of the type of tradings I do is regarding futures trading. right? And you can trade all day, morning, noon, night. Of course, there's a break, right, between New York session and Asian session. Anyway, I say all that to say I'm not get too into that. Okay, what I wanted to say is that if you see me gazing over, okay, while I'm making this video, it's just because I have my charts up right now. Okay, now we're looking at the market, right? We see what it has done, right? We see that we see what cryptocurrency has done, what it is doing, right? Were you guys in position already for cryptocurrency? Are you guys invested in the stock market? Do you guys trade the stock market? Do you guys, have investments? Do I'm asking these questions because I want you to start asking yourself these questions. I want you to answer them. Okay. And when you answer them, I want you to know that it is very clear, ladies and gentlemen, very, 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 very clear to me what is the trajectory of the economic situation in this country. Now, I, when they speak about the tribulations, right? And again, I emphasize that ancient texts come in many forms. Okay, there's many ancient texts. Okay, so you'll hear me when I speak referencing a few of them, from time to time. But in this instance, and by the way, I believe that you should explore all the ancient texts. That's what I call them, ancient texts. Some people call them Bibles or Qurans or Taras. You know, that's how I say the words. By the way, okay, because I've had some. Listen. Anyway, but you know, I'm spiritual, so I'm a spiritual being. So I feel all the ancient texts should be looked at least. But if we are talking about the Bible, right? It talks about the tribulation, right? Well, you know, we have to understand, beautiful people, that there is a degree of deciphering that we have to do when we're looking at some of these texts. There is deciphering and that you have to do, so when the Bible speaks of a time period to where there's going to be, a end of the world or this type of a situation, right? People theorize that time period is happening. Okay, we're moving, we're there, But the thing is so people theorize this, right? Like that's what the Bible is speaking of, that prophetic time period, right? Where there's going to be an end of the world, right? Most people perceive that to mean that like there's going to be a nuclear war and then the whole world's going to just blow up. Everybody's going to blow each other up. It's going to be some kind of like end of the world type of apocalyptic event, but like in the way that people see apocalypse happen in movies and things like that. Well, again, people theorize, okay, that this time that we are moving into is the time that's spoken of in the Bible if you're deciphering it, right? Reason being, for one example, in October 9th, I want to say it was, there was a constellation that was in the sky, right? And in Revelations, it talks about the four horsemen, right, of the apocalypse. And, a lot of Christians believe or, have been led to believe that the four horsemen that is described in the Bible, that it's going to be an actual man on a horse coming out the clouds. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it says, right? That's what I mean. It appears to be what it says, right? And then of course these freaking pastors, whatever you want to call them, in these churches, some of them, I'm not saying all, but some of them, don't help, with the confusion, but the four horsemen that's talked about of the apocalypse, four horsemen of the apocalypse, it's a constellation. Yeah. So the four horsemen constellation. And so that's what it meant. Right. So that's what it's theorized. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not up here trying to say my way of thinking is right. The information that I get is the only information that's accurate. I encourage everybody to ask these questions yourself and explore these things yourself. Okay, I really encourage people to really get inspired and motivated to just take a second to really study your existence. Please, please. And that's going to require you, diving in to some things, right? Anyway, so I say that to say, I'm not up here saying that my way of thinking or existing is the way that everybody should be existing or thinking. I'm not suggesting that whatsoever. But what I am saying is that it's theorized, right? And so that constellation was in the sky in October. I think it was the ninth, right? And so again, people theorized that that time period we're talking about, that it was talking about in Revelations, is here. But again, because people have been led to believe that it's going to look a certain way, they don't understand that it's not going to look like they're not going to know when it's here, because they're going to be thinking, okay, well, I'll know because there's going to be a guy and a horse coming out the sky and like all these things like that. It says right here in the King James version of the Bible, and it's the only Bible I've ever read. So, or the only ancient text I've ever read. So this is what it says here. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. People who believe that. I don't, because it's what they taught you and it's what it pretty much says. And who taught you to decipher it? Who told you to look into it? Who told you that you should maybe look at other ancient texts? Who told you that maybe religion, organized religion, wasn't a good idea? And we can question, was it even the plan? Right? Was it even the plan? So there's no thing I can think of that is more important than a person understanding their existence, understanding, where they come from, and all those good things. There are dogs barking outside. This is how I know I'm saying something that has to be important, because I don't even know where these dogs just came from. But when I tell you, okay, so I'm back. Had to do a quick cleanse really quickly because I don't know where them dogs came from in the moment. I don't, like, literally out of nowhere. I don't know. Doesn't happen. But anyway, as I was saying, guys, beautiful people, because it's ladies and guys. Okay, big up to my divine feminine energies out there. Big up to my divine feminine energies out there. My divine feminine energies. Big up to you. Okay. So I don't mean, when I say guys, ladies, don't listen. I love my ladies. I love the ladies. I do. I do. So if I say guys, please don't take offense. It's just, you know, habit that I have to stop doing. But anyways, understanding your existence, understanding your existence, understanding and overstanding the Most High Source, the Alpha, the Omega, helps a person to be able to understand what's going on in this area of existence, in this realm of existence, in this dimension of existence, because as above, so below. As above, so below. So we have to understand above to understand below. So I encourage people to get excited, to get inspired to understand above better, to stop allowing other people to open the book for you, read the book to you, and interpret it for your mind to take, for your soul to take away. Like, open it yourself, go through it yourself, find answers yourself, seek and find yourself. Seek and find yourself. Okay? What's going on? Okay? But I can tell you confidently, confidently, that there is indeed a Most High. There is an Alpha. There is an Alpha and Omega. There is a divine masculine, a divine feminine. There is a great mother, a great father, the Most High. Source. Source. That's what I believe. My definition of religion is a belief system, a strong belief backed up by action, right? So people who are Christians, who call Christianity their religion or any other religion, and you want to challenge my belief, I would say don't do so unless you're prepared to open it up and go through it page by page. Because I'm telling you now, my belief is unshakable. I have sought, so I found. So just in case there's any, push and tug there, I wanna take a second to give honor and glory to the Most High. I want to give honor and glory to the Most High for the one time, because I want to be very clear. My intentions with these videos that I'm putting out here is to honor the source, to honor the source, to honor the begotten daughters, to honor the begotten sons, to honor the ancestors, the angels, the light beings, and all of the different realms and dimensions. That is what my intention is, first and foremost. And in doing that, you will find that the Most High, wants you to be amazing. The Most High wants you to understand. The Most High wants you to see what you're really dealing with, to see that you shape your reality. We shape our reality. And if we could just get to a level of consciousness that's high enough, we could have a really, really amazing existence. All of us, but a lot of people, unfortunately, haven't figured out their own reality yet, their own existence yet, because they don't have that connection between self and the Most High. Because as above, so below. A lot of people have a difficult time understanding what's happening around them because you don't understand above. You don't understand above. So if you don't understand above, then you won't understand below. So it's really, really important, guys, to please develop a deep relationship with your existence. How do we get here? Why are we here? Where do we come from? Is this our first time living? These types of things we have to begin to dig into. If you call yourself a spiritual person, if you call yourself a person who's religious, if you call yourself, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, we coming into a time, prove it. Prove it. Okay. Prove it. First of all, by way of reading everything yourself, and then taking what you've read and going within and seeing, does it line up? Does it make sense? Do you have more questions? If you do, then it's probably more to it. Okay. I don't want to get too long-winded with this post-election chat we're having here, but I appreciate you sticking around this long. What I will say in conclusion is this: pay attention to, because I don't want to put too much out on this platform publicly, because I have other platforms that I give more detailed information regarding things to do with moving forward. But I'm being careful with what I put here on this platform for now. Not careful like I'm afraid of anything, but I'm being careful for my own reasons. However, I will say, which this is general, this should be common, knowledge at this point. Pay attention to cryptocurrency. Pay attention to the markets. Understand that we are dealing with a Donald Trump, Elon Musk presidency. That's what this is. JD Vance is the vice president. Technically, he does play a role. It's really his wife that plays the role, and that's the bridge between America and India. That's the significance of JD Vance. But that's just beside the point. This is a Trump, Elon Musk presidency. So what we have to do moving forward is what? Ask ourselves, what would Elon Musk be getting into next year? Financially now, people. Because the tribulation, people could think it's going to look one way. It's not going to look. It's going to look a different way. So let's say, what if it has something to do with the economy, right? If you could believe that the whole world's going to blow up, literally, then you can theorize there might be a collapse in some sort of change in like the way our monetary system. You have to be able to conceptualize that. If you can conceptualize anything else that you've read in you know, in the Bible in terms of end times, right? So I need us to just expand our minds, because like really the truth is actually stranger than fiction, and it's again more beautiful than a lie. Okay. And so we have to just really expand our minds a little bit. Okay. We have to expand our minds a little bit. Okay. Markets, markets, cryptocurrency, things that are affiliated with Elon Musk. Okay. Things that are affiliated with Donald Trump. Is Donald Trump going to be a cryptocurrency friendly president? What you think? His family just released a cryptocurrency. So you think, right? Is he going to be a cryptocurrency supporter? Yes. Okay. So pay attention to that, guys. Pay attention to this economy. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention. Follow the money. Okay. Follow the money. Okay. And then, you know, the most important thing is the Most High Source, the Great Almighty, the truth and the light. That is the ultimate. That's the top important thing. That is the most important thing. Wow, the most important thing. Okay, it is the most important thing to understand that. It's changed my life for the better. Never going back. Um, because everything's just so clear here when you build that relationship with the Most High, with Source. You know, so that's what I'll leave you guys with. Thank you so much for sticking around with me, having this chat. We'll see each other again soon. That's a promise. Until next time, be safe, take care. Ashe. The Light Collective. The Light Collective. The Light Collective.